Hello guys, this is Chris from the Team Mile, and I'm going to show you a deck, I'm going to show you a video on how to side deck. This is my personal rule of thumb, and this is how you stop the meta. The main thing you want to think about is what's their primary asset. What do they need to get off their plays? And if you can shut that down, you can go off. Or, another way you can look at it is, do you think your deck is superior? Then what do you think they're going to side for you? What do you think they're going to try and side to shut down your play? And then you counter side. You stop. Like say you're running Injectors, okay? And you think they're going to side Shadow Imprisoning, and you think Shadow Imprisoning is going to shut you down. Well, you could side out all your traps, and you could go double Royal Decree. Now, that's a good counteract. Or you could side in Dust Tornado, because Shadow Imprisoning does shut down that deck. I mean, it's hard to stop. So, Dust Tornado, Royal Decree, those are your options. Plus, you already main deck MSTs, I'm guessing. So, that's what you mainly need to think of when you're playing. For instance, you go up against Chaos Dragons, the Light Pulsar Red-Ice Darkness Metal loop is pretty hard to get over. And to get over it, you could basically just side in cards like Macrocosmos or D. Fisher. But you have to make sure that doesn't counteract with your deck. Like if you're running Dino Rabbit, these cards don't really affect you at all. They don't hurt your deck, and they hurt this deck a lot. So those are things you can do. Another card you can use is, let me pull it out. Prohibition. If you plan on siding one of these, you can side in Prohibition to prohibit their Lila. That way it stops them from destroying your back row. So these are just a couple ideas, and we're going to go ahead and go through on how to stop the major decks. Dark Worlds. You're playing a Dark World deck. It's pretty simple. You can either side your Shadow Imprisoning or your D. Fisher. D. Fisher really hurts Dark Worlds because they don't get their effects when they're discarded to the graveyard. And there's not really much to do. Yeah, you could also side in a DD Crow or two to DD Crow out their Grapha. And there's no getting the Grapha back once you've done that. Okay, so Dark Worlds, we've got that covered. The Shining, E-Hero decks. They're really competitive, and now they're starting to top in places. So, ways you can stop them. Shining is really back and forth. He recycles himself, he recycles other cards, and they just keep abusing Miracle. So, you can side in Soul Taker, which you also can side in for Chaos Dragons, which makes him miss his timing, which is a really good card, and a lot of people, it's been seeing a lot more play recently. Six Sams. Cards that can wipe cards off the field. Six Sams are really weak. They're tier 2. You don't really see them doing too well. I mean, if they go first and they top Gateway and they can go off, they're pretty good, but Six Sams basically get shut down by anything that'll just get over their 2500. So Six Sams are really weak in this meta, and I mean, you don't have to side for them, but if you do want to, if say you're going to a regionals or a locals that's really Six Sam heavy, you could side in Puppet Plants, which allow you to take control of their Shien, and then you can Dark Hole or something like that. There's just so much thought that has to go into the side deck because there's so many important cards that you'll need. If you're playing Dino Rabbit or Heretics, you can side in Zombie World. This allows them not to be able to get up their XYZs because they're zombie types and their XYZ monsters require dinosaurs. This also says that the only monsters that can be tributed are zombies. So, or first zombie summons or whatever. So this counteracts heretics because they're all dragons. How to stop Inzectors, we went over that. DD Crow, Macro, Cosmos, these can all shut down the Inzectors. Shadow Imprisoning. And then if you're playing Inzectors, you can side in Prohibition, Royal Decree, anything that stops that. Now, say you're playing Wind-Ups. Wind-Ups are really pesky and annoying, and they can do a lot, but they can be stopped by a lot. First of all, Nico Main King. It just ends their turn completely. They discard that from your hand to the grave, and it ends their turn. So that's no fun for them. They get a card out of your hand, but you get your turn now to try whatever you want. Or you can side in cards like Gozen Match or Rivalry of the Warlords, because all the windups are different types and attributes. Like Shark is fish and water, Rat is beast and fire. So these two cards work just as well. And those are the main decks I can think of right now. Oh, okay. One more deck that has been seeing a lot of play in the meta. It's been topping. It's actually topped in like 3 or 4 countries. Is the Final Countdown deck. And one simple card shuts it down. It's a pretty decent card, and it just shuts down the whole deck. Royal Decree. You side that, and there's nothing they can really do about it. So, if you're playing the Final Countdown deck, and you know they're going to side Royal Decree, you'll side in your MST, and hope you draw it. That's really all there is to siding. It's pretty simple. You just need to think about your regionals, get to know your people, and prepare for all that you need. Don't hurt your own deck, and counter side for their sides. Alright, well, go ahead and leave a comment below. Any opinions, questions. This is Chris from the Team Mile, making it look easy, signing out. Peace out.